Have you ever wondered how your favorite chocolate is made? Picture this. Centuries ago, in the heart of ancient Mesoamerica, the cacao tree first bore the precious pods that would eventually become the chocolate we adore. The journey from bitter cacao bean to sweet delight has been a fascinating evolution, shaped by cultures, innovations, and tastes across the ages. Chocolate's story is as rich and layered as its flavors, a testament to human ingenuity and our love for sweetness. Now let's dive into the modern process of how this delicious treat is made. Every chocolate's journey begins with the harvesting of cocoa beans. These cocoa trees, the unsung heroes of our story, thrive in the tropical climates of countries around the equator. Their lush green leaves provide shelter to football-shaped pods, varying in color from yellow to deep purple. These pods are not picked from the tree but are carefully cut down using a machete to avoid damaging the tree's delicate flower cushions. Inside each of these pods we find a sweet, sticky pulp encompassing around 20 to 40 cocoa beans. These beans, the raw material for our beloved chocolate, are then skillfully extracted. This extraction process involves breaking open the pod to reveal the beans enveloped in a sweet white pulp. The pulp is then removed, leaving behind the cocoa bean that we're all so eager to transform. Once harvested and extracted, the cocoa beans are ready for the next step, fermentation. Fermentation is a critical step in developing chocolate's characteristic flavor. Now let's dive right into this fascinating process. Once the cocoa beans are harvested, they are placed in heaps or boxes to ferment. This isn't any ordinary waiting game. As the beans ferment, they undergo a magical transformation. The pulp surrounding the beans begins to ferment, developing an alcohol-like substance. This substance permeates the beans, sparking a series of chemical reactions that truly bring out the rich, deep flavors we associate with chocolate. But the process doesn't stop here. Once the beans have been fermented to perfection, typically over the course of 5 to 7 days, they need to be dried. This is an essential step to stop the fermentation process and to reduce the moisture content of the beans. They're spread out under the sun, and over the course of 1 to 2 weeks they dry out, their flavors intensifying even further. After the beans are dried, they're ready to be turned into chocolate. The next step in our chocolate journey is roasting and grinding. This is the stage where the magic truly begins, turning the humble cocoa bean into the beloved treat we all adore. Let's start with roasting. This process is essential to the development of the rich, complex flavors we associate with chocolate. The cocoa beans are roasted at a temperature range between 250 and 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This not only brings out the chocolate flavor, but also removes any remaining moisture and unwanted bacteria. Each manufacturer has their own secret formula for roasting duration and temperature, which is part of what makes every chocolate unique. After roasting, the beans are cooled and then cracked open. This reveals the nibs, the heart of the cocoa bean, where all the chocolate flavor resides. These nibs are then ready for grinding. Grinding is the process that turns these nibs into a thick, luscious paste known as chocolate liquor. Despite the name, there's no alcohol here, but this paste is the essence of what makes chocolate, well, chocolate. It's a blend of cocoa solids and cocoa butter, the two primary ingredients in our final product. The grinding process generates heat, which melts the cocoa butter and helps transform the coarse nibs into the smooth, velvety paste. The result is a substance that's ready for the next steps in the chocolate-making process. Now that we have our chocolate liquor, we're ready to start shaping our chocolate. Now comes the exciting part, shaping the chocolate. Once the chocolate liquor has been finely ground, it's time to add in the other ingredients. For milk chocolate, this typically means sugar, milk, and a touch of vanilla. These ingredients are all mixed together with the chocolate liquor, creating a blend that is both sweet and creamy. Next, the blending process begins. The chocolate mixture is stirred continuously, ensuring that the ingredients are thoroughly combined and the texture is smooth. This process is crucial as it helps to create the perfect mouthfeel that we all associate with high-quality chocolate. Once the blending is complete, the chocolate is then ready to be poured into molds. These molds can take any shape or form depending on the final product. From small, bite-sized pieces perfect for a quick treat, to larger bars for those times when you need a little more indulgence, the possibilities are endless. The chocolate is then smoothed out within the molds to ensure an even distribution. It's a delicate process, one that requires both precision and care. After all, we want every piece of chocolate to be as perfect as possible, right? Once the chocolate is in the molds, it's time for the cooling process. This is where the magic really happens. The chocolate is cooled down slowly, allowing it to solidify. This process is critical because it helps to determine the final texture of the chocolate. Too fast, and the chocolate may become gritty; too slow, and it may not set properly. But when done just right, the chocolate hardens into a glossy, smooth treat that's ready to be savored. The final step is to remove the chocolate from the molds. This needs to be done gently to avoid damaging the chocolate. Once removed, the chocolate is inspected one last time to ensure it meets the highest standards of quality. And just like that, your favorite chocolate is ready to be packaged and enjoyed. Every step, every process is carried out with the utmost attention to detail, all to ensure that when you bite into that piece of chocolate, it's nothing short of perfection. So there you have it, the journey of a cocoa bean to a chocolate bar. It's a process that begins in the lush tropical regions where the cocoa trees thrive. From there, the cocoa beans are harvested, a labor-intensive process that lays the foundation for the chocolate we know and love. Then, the beans are fermented and dried, two crucial steps that develop the beans' unique flavor profiles. After drying, the beans are roasted and ground, transforming them from raw ingredients into something closer to the chocolate we recognize. And finally, the ground cocoa is shaped, a process that involves tempering and molding the chocolate into bars or other forms. It's a fascinating journey, one that showcases the blend of art and science that goes into every piece of chocolate. Next time you bite into a piece of chocolate, remember the journey it's been on to get to you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating food journeys.